My friends, tonight I want to tell you something that will revolutionize your entire understanding of imagination. Something so profound, so simple, yet so overlooked, that most of humanity sleeps through life, never discovering this divine secret. Every time you imagine, truly imagine, you are not daydreaming. You are not merely entertaining yourself with pleasant fantasies. No, my friend, you are doing something far more sacred, far more powerful than you have ever been taught to believe. You are tuning your radio into the station of your desire. Stop for a moment and consider this. When you turn the dial on your radio and tune into a particular station, that music, that program, was already being broadcast. It was already there, waiting for you to find the right frequency. Your radio didn't create the music. It simply tuned into what was already being transmitted through the invisible airwaves. So it is with imagination. The Bible tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Tonight, I will show you that your imagination is that very faith. Your imagination is the divine substance from which all things are formed. Let me tell you about a woman who came to one of my lectures. She was 45 years old, had been single for 15 years, and had given up all hope of ever finding love. "Mr. Goddard," she said, "I've tried everything. I've been to every social gathering. I've asked friends to introduce me to suitable men. Nothing works. I'm destined to be alone." I looked at her and asked one simple question. "What station is your imagination tuned into?" She looked puzzled. "I don't understand." "Every night," I said, "when you go to bed, what do you imagine about your romantic life?" Her face fell. "Well, I suppose I imagine coming home to an empty apartment, eating dinner alone, wondering why I can't find someone who loves me." "Madam," I told her, "you have tuned your imagination to the station of loneliness, and you are faithfully broadcasting that frequency 24 hours a day. The universe has no choice but to give you more of what you're broadcasting." 6 months later, that same woman wrote to me. She was engaged to a wonderful man who adored her. What changed? Not her circumstances, not her appearance, not her social situation. She learned how to change the station. Tonight, I want to reveal to you the precise method by which imagination operates. I want to show you how every image you form in your mind becomes a tuning fork that attracts its physical counterpart. And most importantly, I want to give you the exact technique to consciously select the station of your desire and remain faithful to its frequency. But first, let me ask you, have you ever noticed that some people seem to effortlessly attract what they want, while others struggle and strain and never get ahead? The difference is not education. It's not luck. It's not even hard work. The difference is that they know how to tune their imagination to the frequency of their fulfilled desire. Your imagination, my friend, is like a magnificent radio receiver. But unlike the radio in your living room, your consciousness can tune into any station in the infinite broadcasting system of God's universe. Think of it this way. Right now, at this very moment, there are dozens of radio programs being broadcast through the air around you. Music, news, drama, comedy, all of it is there, waiting for you to tune in. But if your radio is set to station 75.2 FM, you will only hear what's playing on 75.2 FM. You won't hear the beautiful symphony being broadcast on 92.5 FM, even though it's there. So it is with the states of consciousness. There is a state called wealth, broadcasting its program right now. There is a state called perfect health, playing its healing frequency this very moment. There is a state called ideal love, transmitting its beautiful story of romance and companionship. All of these states exist right now. They are as real as the radio waves carrying music through your room. The only question is, which one are you tuned into? When you imagine something, when you see it clearly in your mind's eye, you are turning the dial of your consciousness to tune into a parallel reality where that desire is already fulfilled. You are picking up the broadcast from a version of yourself who is already living that life. This is not poetry. This is not metaphor. This is the actual mechanism by which the unseen becomes seen, by which the desired becomes the experienced. Scripture says, "In my Father's house are many mansions. What are these mansions but different states of consciousness? Different stations broadcasting different realities. And Christ said, I go to prepare a place for you. That place is prepared the moment you tune into it with your imagination. Most people spend their entire lives tuned into the station called lack or struggle, or I cannot have what I want. They listen to this dreary program day after day, year after year, wondering why their life never changes. They complain about the programming, but they never think to change the station. But tonight, I'm going to show you how to change the station using 3 simple words that will transform your entire existence. See it, feel it, be it. Before I give you the technique, let me warn you about the fatal mistake that keeps 99% of humanity trapped in unwanted realities. They tune into their desire for a moment. Perhaps they imagine being wealthy for a few seconds, and then immediately they look around at their present circumstances. They see their bills, their empty bank account, their struggling business, and they say, well, that was nice to imagine, but it's not real. My friend, when you do this, you have committed spiritual suicide. You have tuned into the station of your heart's desire, begun to hear its beautiful music, and then immediately switched back to the static of your present conditions. I once knew a man who dreamed of owning his own business. Every morning on his way to his factory job, he would imagine for a few minutes what it would be like to be his own boss. But then he would arrive at work, see his supervisor, punch his time card, and say to himself, stop dreaming. You're just a factory worker. You'll never have your own business. For 20 years, he did this. 20 years of tuning into success for 5 minutes, and then tuning into limitation for the remaining 23 hours and 55 minutes of his day. One day I asked him, if you owned a radio and wanted to hear a symphony, would you tune into the classical station for 30 seconds and then immediately turn to a station playing static for the rest of the evening? Of course not, he replied. That would be foolish. Then why? I asked. Do you tune into the station of business success for 5 minutes each morning and then immediately return to the station of I'm just a factory worker for the rest of your day? That man learned to remain faithful to his desired station. Within 2 years, he owned 3 successful businesses. The difference was not opportunity. The difference was faithfulness to the frequency of his fulfilled desire. When you desire something, the first step is to see it. Not just glance at it quickly in your mind and then return to your problems. No, you must see it as clearly as if you were looking at a photograph in your family album. Most people, when they try to imagine, make a crucial error. They imagine themselves wanting the thing. They see themselves hoping for it, wishing for it, trying to get it. This is completely wrong. When you imagine yourself wanting something, you are tuning into the station called wanting, and the universe will give you more wanting. Instead, you must imagine the thing as already accomplished. You must see yourself already having it, already being it, already living in the fulfillment of your desire. If you desire a new home, don't imagine yourself looking at houses, hoping to find one you can afford. Instead, imagine yourself already living in your ideal home. See yourself having breakfast in your beautiful kitchen. See yourself entertaining friends in your lovely living room. See yourself sleeping peacefully in your perfect bedroom. Imagine you're at the cinema, watching a moving picture of your life. But in this picture, you already have what you desire. You already are who you want to be. You are watching yourself living in the fulfillment of your wish. Make this mental picture as vivid as a memory. See the colors, notice the details, observe the furniture, feel the textures. The more real you make it in imagination, the stronger the signal you are receiving from that station. Now here's where most people fail miserably. They see it for a moment, perhaps 5 or 10 seconds, and then they immediately look around at their present circumstances. They see their current apartment, their present income, their existing situation, and they say, well, it's not here, so it must not be real. But my friend, when you do this, you've immediately tuned away from the station of your desire and back to the station of your current conditions. You must learn to hold that vision. When you see your desire clearly for 20 or 30 seconds, when you really dwell in that mental picture, You begin to pick up the broadcast more clearly. The signal becomes stronger. But seeing alone will not bring it into your world. You must move to the second stage. And this is where the real transformation begins. The longer you tune into the station of your desire, the more clearly you begin to hear the program. And in consciousness, hearing the program means feeling what it would be like to already have your desire fulfilled. This is the crucial point that separates those who manifest their desires from those who merely daydream about them. Listen to me carefully. You can see your desire accomplished in imagination all day long, but if you don't feel the reality of it, you are merely entertaining yourself with pleasant pictures. The feeling is what gives life to the vision. The feeling is what makes it real in consciousness. A young man once came to me seeking financial abundance. He said, "Mr. Goddard, I imagine being wealthy every day. I see myself with money. I see myself in expensive clothes. I see myself in a beautiful car, but nothing happens. Why?" I asked him, "When you see yourself with these things, how do you feel?" He thought for a moment. "Well, I feel hopeful that someday I might have them." "There's your problem," I told him. "You're not feeling wealthy. You're feeling hopeful. Hope is the feeling of someone who doesn't have something but wishes they did. You're broadcasting on the frequency of "I don't have it, but I hope to get it." And the universe is responding by giving you more hoping and waiting. I taught him to feel as though he already possessed great wealth, to feel grateful for the money he already had in consciousness, to feel the satisfaction, the security, the joy of being abundantly provided for. Within 6 months, he received an unexpected inheritance that made him financially independent for life. When you begin to feel your desire as already accomplished, you are no longer merely watching the moving picture of your fulfilled life. You are stepping into that picture. You are becoming the person in that scene. What would it feel like to wake up tomorrow already having what you desire? What would it feel like to move through your day as the person who already possesses this thing? How would you feel about yourself? How would you feel about your life? If you desire health, feel the vitality coursing through your body. Feel the strength in your muscles, the clarity in your mind, the energy in your step. Don't feel like someone who is sick hoping to get well. Feel like someone who is vibrantly, gloriously healthy. If you desire love, feel the warmth of being cherished, the security of being wanted, the joy of sharing your life with someone who adores you. Don't feel lonely hoping for love. Feel loved, completely and unconditionally. If you desire success, feel the satisfaction of achievement, the confidence of capability, the pride of accomplishment. Don't feel like a failure hoping for success. Feel successful, valuable, important. This feeling, this is the secret that unlocks every door in the mansion of manifestation. This feeling is what changes you from the person who wants into the person who has. When you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you have tuned into that station so clearly that you are now broadcasting on the same frequency. Now listen to me carefully. Once you begin to feel the reality of your fulfilled desire, you must not under any circumstances tune back to the station of your present conditions. Do not look at your bank account. Do not examine your present circumstances. Do not ask, "Where is it? Why hasn't it appeared yet?" When you do this, you are changing the station back to your old reality. You are tuning away from the answer and back to the problem. Instead, you must luxuriate in this feeling. You must wallow in the joy of already having what you desire. Feel grateful for it. Feel satisfied by it. Feel as though your prayer has already been answered. Carry this feeling with you as you go about your day. Let it color every thought, every action, every response. Become so familiar with this feeling that it becomes more real to you than your present circumstances. And then, my friend, something miraculous begins to happen. When you can truly feel your desire as already fulfilled, you naturally begin to be the person who has that thing. You begin to think as that person thinks, to act as that person acts, to respond as that person responds. This is the final stage, being it. Scripture tells us, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." This is that transformation. You are no longer the person who wants, you have become the person who has. When you are truly being your fulfilled desire, your entire world begins to reorganize itself to match this new state of consciousness. You are now broadcasting on a different frequency, and the universe must respond to the station you are transmitting. It's a law as reliable as gravity. The state you embody in consciousness must manifest in your world of experience. You begin to act like a wealthy person before the wealth appears in your bank account. Not by spending money you don't have, but by carrying yourself with the dignity of someone who knows they are provided for. You speak with the confidence of someone who has financial security. You make decisions from a place of abundance rather than lack. You carry yourself like a loved person before love manifests in your world. You treat yourself with the kindness you would show to someone precious. You speak about yourself the way someone who is cherished would speak. You expect good things to happen to you, because that's what happens to people who are beloved. You walk like a successful person before the success becomes obvious to others. You hold your head high with the bearing of someone who knows their worth. You approach challenges with the confidence of someone who expects to overcome them. You speak with the authority of someone who has something valuable to offer. This is not pretense. This is not acting as if. This is not fake it till you make it. This is you literally becoming the person who already possesses your desire in consciousness. The person you are being is not a role you are playing. It is who you actually are in the reality where your desire is fulfilled. You are simply choosing to tune into that version of yourself and remain faithful to that frequency. And because consciousness is the only reality, because all things exist first in imagination before they appear in the world of form, your physical world must reshape itself to conform to this new state of being. It has no choice. The physical world is simply consciousness made visible. Change your consciousness, and your world must change. My friends, what I am giving you tonight is not merely a technique, it is the sacred art of assumption. You must learn to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and then persist in that assumption, regardless of what your senses tell you. Jesus said, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Notice the tense. Believe that you have received it, not believe that you will receive it. This is the technique I am teaching you. Assume it is already yours. Feel it as already accomplished. Be it as already realized. I have watched this transform thousands of lives. The woman who assumed she was a successful actress and felt the thrill of standing ovations night after night in her imagination. She is now starring on Broadway. The man who assumed he was a published author and felt the satisfaction of holding his book in his hands. His novel is now being read by millions. The couple who assumed they owned their dream home and felt the joy of living in it every night before sleep, they now have the keys to that very house. What made the difference? They didn't wait for evidence in their physical world. They didn't look for proof that it was working. They simply remained faithful to the feeling of their wish fulfilled. They understood that consciousness is the only reality, and everything else is just consciousness expressing itself in form. Now, let me give you the exact technique. Choose something you desire, something that would make you genuinely happy, something that excites you when you think about it. It doesn't matter if it seems impossible. It doesn't matter if you can't see how it could happen. All that matters is that it would bring you joy to have it. Step 1. See it. Find the station. Close your eyes and construct a scene that would naturally occur if your desire were already fulfilled. Don't imagine yourself getting the thing. Imagine yourself already having it. If you desire a new job, don't imagine the interview. Imagine yourself already working at that job, enjoying the work, receiving congratulations from colleagues on your excellent performance. If you desire marriage, don't imagine meeting someone. Imagine yourself already married, perhaps putting on your wedding ring each morning, or having your spouse kiss you goodbye before work. If you desire health, don't imagine going to the doctor for a clean bill of health. Imagine yourself already healthy, perhaps running upstairs without getting winded, or looking in the mirror and loving what you see. Make this scene as vivid as a memory of something that actually happened to you. See the details. Notice the colors. Feel the textures. Hear the sounds. The more real you make it, the stronger the signal. Hold this picture steadily for at least 30 seconds. Don't let your mind wander to problems or present circumstances. Stay focused on this beautiful scene of fulfillment. Step 2. Feel it. Hear the program broadcasting. Now step into that scene. Don't just watch it. Be in it. Feel what it would feel like to be there, to have this desire fulfilled. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the gratitude, the naturalness of already having what you want. Let this feeling fill your entire being until it becomes more real than your present circumstances. If you're imagining success, feel successful. Feel proud, accomplished, valuable, important. If you're imagining love, feel cherished, wanted, appreciated, adored. If you're imagining abundance, feel abundant, feel secure, provided for, generous, free. Don't just think these feelings, experience them as though they are happening right now. Step 3. Become it. Broadcast on the new frequency. From this feeling state, live as though this is your reality. When you open your eyes, carry this feeling with you. Don't drop it and return to your old state. Respond to your world as the person who already has this thing. Think the thoughts such a person would think. Make the decisions such a person would make. Carry yourself the way such a person would carry themselves. Do not look for immediate proof in your physical world. Do not check your circumstances to see if it's working. This is like tuning into a beautiful music program and then immediately changing the station to static to see if the music is still there. Trust the process. Remain faithful to the feeling of your fulfilled desire, regardless of what your senses tell you. My friends, here is where your faith will be tested. Here is where the sheep are separated from the goats, where those who truly understand this teaching are distinguished from those who merely play with it. Your old circumstances will persist for a time. Your bank account will still show the same balance. Your relationship status will appear unchanged. Your health may seem no different. This is the critical moment. This is when most people abandon the process and return to their old state of consciousness. But you must persist. You must remain faithful to your new state, regardless of what your senses report. Remember, your senses can only report what has already been created by your previous states of consciousness. The external world is always the last to conform to your change of consciousness. First you change within, then the world reflects that change without. Abraham hoped against hope and called those things which be not as though they were. This is your example. You must call your desire accomplished, even when your senses deny it. I remember a woman who desired to heal from a serious illness. She faithfully practiced this technique, seeing herself healthy, feeling vibrant and strong, being the picture of perfect health. For weeks, her symptoms remained. Her doctors saw no improvement. Her family worried that she was deluding herself, but she persisted. Every night she fell asleep, feeling grateful for her perfect health. Every morning, she awoke expecting to feel wonderful. Every day she carried herself as a healthy person would. Then one morning, she woke up completely healed. Every symptom was gone. Her doctors called it a miracle. It was no miracle, it was the natural result of remaining faithful to her desired state of consciousness. When you truly understand this teaching, when you really grasp that consciousness is the only reality, and that imagination creates the world, you will never again feel helpless or hopeless. You will know that no matter what your present circumstances, you have the power to tune into any reality you desire. You have access to every station in God's infinite broadcasting system. Poverty is just a station you can tune away from. Loneliness is just a frequency you can change. Sickness is just a program you can turn off. Failure is just a broadcast you can stop listening to. Every state you desire is available to you right now. Wealth is broadcasting its abundance. Love is transmitting its warmth. Health is radiating its vitality. Success is sharing its triumph. All you have to do is tune in and remain faithful to the frequency. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. The asking is the imagining. The seeking is the feeling. The knocking is the being. When you see it, feel it, and be it, you have asked, sought, and knocked. The universe must respond. Tonight, before you sleep, I want you to practice this divine art. Choose one desire, just one, and apply this technique for at least 10 minutes. Don't rush through it. Take your time to construct a beautiful scene of fulfillment. Really see yourself in that scene. Feel what it would be like to be there. Then carry that feeling into sleep. Do this for 7 consecutive nights. Don't look for results. Don't check your progress. Don't ask when it will happen. Simply remain faithful to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. If doubts arise, dismiss them. If circumstances seem to contradict your imagining, ignore them. If people tell you you're being unrealistic, smile and continue with your practice. Within days, you will begin to notice changes, small at first perhaps, but unmistakable. Your actions will change because your state has changed. Opportunities will appear because you are now broadcasting on a different frequency. People will respond to you differently because you are now being a different person. When these changes begin to appear, and they will, simply accept them as natural consequences of your new state of being. Don't be surprised. Don't think it's coincidence. Know that consciousness is the only reality, and you have simply tuned into a different station. Each time you notice evidence of your changing reality, let it increase your faith. Let it strengthen your conviction in this divine power. Let it encourage you to persist in your practice. But don't become dependent on the evidence. The evidence is wonderful, but it's not necessary for your faith. Your faith should rest on the truth that consciousness creates reality, not on whether you can see immediate proof. Before I send you forth to practice this divine art, let me give you 3 sacred rules that will determine your success or failure. Rule 1. Never mix your states. Do not imagine being wealthy in the morning and then spend the afternoon complaining about being poor. Do not feel love during your meditation and then spend the evening feeling lonely. Choose your state and remain faithful to it throughout the day. Rule 2. Ignore contrary evidence. When your senses report something that contradicts your imagined reality, give no attention to the report. Your senses can only tell you about the past. Your imagination is creating the future. Rule 3. Persist until it hardens into fact. Don't abandon your desired state when it doesn't manifest immediately. Consciousness is the only reality, but it takes time for that reality to harden into physical fact. Persist in your assumption until it becomes your natural state. The greatest secret I can share with you, greater than any treasure, more valuable than any earthly possession, is this. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are not at the mercy of the world around you. You are not subject to the whims of fate or the accidents of birth. You are the operant power in your own experience. You are the author of your own story. You are the artist painting on the canvas of your life. Your imagination is not a faculty for entertainment. It is not a way to pass time or escape reality. Your imagination is the very creative power of God within you. It is the workshop where all things are made. It is the studio where your life is designed. Every time you imagine lovingly, every time you see and feel and become your heart's desire, you are wielding the same power that spoke the universe into existence. Genesis tells us that man was made in the image of God. What is the image of God? The power to create through imagination and word. And God said, "Let there be," and there was. When you say, "Let there be love in my life," and imagine it with feeling, you are using that same creative power. When you say, "Let there be abundance in my experience," and feel the reality of it, you are speaking with the voice of God. You don't have to wait for permission from anyone. You don't have to earn your desires through suffering or struggle. You don't have to prove yourself worthy to some external authority. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and your imagination is the key to every door in that kingdom. Every state you desire is yours for the claiming. Every dream you hold is yours for the living. You are not here to live a life of quiet desperation. You are not here to settle for less than your heart's desire. You are here to discover the divine power within you and use it to create a life of joy, abundance, love, and fulfillment. The only question is, what station will you tune into tonight? Go now and practice this divine art. See it, Feel it, be it. Make your imagination your best friend and most trusted advisor. Let it show you possibilities you never dreamed were available to you. Remember, your future is not something that happens to you. It is something you tune into with your divine imagination. May you never again doubt your power to create your reality. May you never again accept less than your heart's desire. May you always remember that consciousness is the only reality, and you are the master of your consciousness. Go in peace. Go in power. Go in the absolute certainty that you are the operant power in your own experience. The world is waiting to see what you will choose to create.